Hey Maximo TV, Erica Rhodes here at the red carpet premiere of Forks Over Knives. You might pick up the vegan lifestyle after seeing this movie. Stay tuned for some of the red carpet interviews. Dr. Terry Mason, can you tell us a little bit about this film?
This is, I think, for food, what An Inconvenient Truth did for the environment. That's how momentous I think this will be. This is going to be one of the best films, best documentaries that have been put together to talk about what the real problems in America are and how we can solve them. We lose 1 million people a year. 1 million people a year because of what they don't eat or what they do eat, the fact that they don't exercise, and they smoke. Those three things are responsible for the diabetes, high blood pressure, the obesity, the cancers, and those things that we have. And we've eaten ourselves into that, and we can eat ourselves out of it. And this is a movie that tells us how.
The movie basically features much of my career and my colleague, Dr. Esselstyn, and many others. And I've been in this business for more than 50 years doing research on diet and health, especially on cancer. We learned some exciting things. What we basically learned is something about nutrition. It's a science that has not been taken seriously by the medical profession. And of all the things we can do in medical science and creating health, nutrition is where it's at. What we put into our mouths makes a huge difference, whether we're going to be well or whether we're going to be sick. And some of this kind of information hasn't been known for a long time. And so what we need to do is get the public to understand what it is that nutrition can do, like cure heart disease, maybe reverse cancer, certainly reverse diabetes, all at the same time. All at the same time. It's basically whole plant-based foods, that kind of nutrition. It's a piece of nature that we've kind of forgotten about.
Is it truly beneficial that you only eat plants, or can you also have meat in your diet as well?
Yes. If we consume whole plant-based foods, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, if we do it that way, exclude the meat, exclude the dairy, exclude the eggs, exclude the processed foods. That means, the refined carbohydrates like sugar and white flour, and go back to nature, in a sense. That kind of food we're learning now is just amazing. It really is amazing. It really does create health.
Cardiovascular disease, which is the leading killer of women and men in Western civilization. If the truth be known, this is nothing more than a toothless paper tiger that need never ever exist. And if it does exist, it need never ever progress. This is a foodborne illness. And I think that what we've tried to demonstrate in the film, and actually through our research, is that by making some of these really significant lifestyle changes.
Which foods are directly connected with cardiovascular disease?
Well, the foods that primarily we try to encourage people to avoid are those that every time that they pass their lips, these foods are injuring that very delicate inner lining of the artery. And these foods are oils, olive oil, corn oil, soybean oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, meat, fish, chicken, turkey, and dairy.
How do you get kids, I guess for one, to really take that into account and eat the right foods?
I think they're going to have to be led by their parents, of course. So I think parents are going to have to. That's one of the reasons I didn't do this as an educational documentary, is I really wanted to appeal to the parents, to older people, so that it can really hit the masses first. You can't really go into schools given the current paradigms we have on health and nutrition.
So can you give us one example of a certain type of food that can do something beneficial to your body?
Mangoes, because it's a complete food and it's exactly as nature intended it. It has all the water and fiber you need, it has all the phytonutrients, so I would say mangoes is an ideal food for us to eat.
I'm one of the experts who's interviewed for the film, and I also was a consultant and did the fact-checking for all the research, archived all the research that documents the statements that we make.
I'm one of the reality patients in it, and I got involved in it and changed my life quite a bit. Really made me a different person.
So talk about the research that was involved with this film. How long did that take?
Well, the research there was a massive amount of it. First of all, we were very careful to not make any statements that we couldn't back up with, solid research. But some of this research goes back 20, 30, 40 years. So this wasn't like the latest study. This represents a huge body of work that has been well documented for decades that backs up our claim that diet is the cause of degenerative disease, and the right diet can stop or reverse it.
During this film, the making of this film, is that when you made your transition over?
That was part of the deal, yeah. I changed it, and by them teaching me how to everything from eat to shop to cook, everything. I've lost 25 pounds. I went from 38 pants down to 33, and it's just changed my life completely. I feel so good. I've got so much energy. It's a complete different life.
Were you having any type of problems before you went on this diet?
Yeah, I had quite a few. I was taking 9 pills and 2 shots a day. I was type 2 diabetic, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Like I told them, after I heard everything I was taking, I go, am I dead? That's what it sounded like.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's amazing how much food can make a difference in your life.
And quickly. I think the thing that amazes people is the results that can be had in such a short period of time. We sometimes see cholesterol drop by 100 points in 2 weeks on this diet. Medicine teaches doctors how to use drugs and surgery to mitigate symptoms, not to cure disease. And of course, we have a lot of special interest groups that influence food policy in our country and healthcare policy in our country. And this is a little counterproductive for some of those economic interests.
12 years with the City of Austin Fire Department. And in 2003, I was able to help get my whole fire station to go plant-based.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How hard was that?
Well, the time was right, and a lot of things conspired, and we had a confluence of factors that made it a reality there. We had one of the guys whose cholesterol was astronomically high, and we had the right team in place to kind of lend the support and the love and the compassion to rally around this one firefighter and start eating this way, basically to save his life. And it made national news, and that led to me writing the book and then being in the film, and here we are.
Being a vegan, did that encourage you to become a vegan chef, I guess?
Yeah, I always felt like there was a real need for better vegan food out there. I grew up in New York where there was really good food, and when I became a vegetarian, I felt like I was being served a lot of side dishes. So that was the inspiration of learning how to cook.
What does a film like this mean to you?
Well, I've only seen bits and pieces, but it makes me proud to be vegan. Obviously, I look up to the people behind the film, and it's an honor to be here.
I'm vegan, and I love it. I'm a big supporter of the vegan lifestyle.
How long have you been a vegan?
Since August of 2009, so almost 2 years. And before August of 2009, I was pescatarian for a year and a half.
Was it hard to go full out vegan?
Not at all. My experience with quitting eating meat was so positive. It really benefited me so much that I was just like, man, I can do more, And so then I stopped with the eggs, and then I stopped eating fish, and then ultimately I bought a carton of soy milk, and it was all over, Yeah, I'm super into it.
You're a vegan, obviously. I see your little pin. That's cute.
Yes, I've been a vegan for about 2 years now. And my friend Robert Cheek, how long have you been a vegan for?
I think I'm on my 17th year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'm like toddler vegan, but I love it. He inspires me so much in so many ways. He's a vegan bodybuilder, and so I work out, and he's inspired me to just kind of like change my workout routines, but also just, really like hammering home the fact that you don't need meat and animal protein to be healthy, to be lean, to be in great shape. So yeah, definitely.
Are you a vegan?
Yes, I am a vegan.
How long have you been a vegan?
2 years. Almost 2 years. 2 years in May, actually.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. I have heard, a friend of mine saw it before. It said it's the best pro-vegan film ever. I can't wait to see it.
What's your favorite meal?
I always go for rice and beans. I love rice and beans. If I had to eat something forever, I would eat rice and beans.
I'm, vegetarian. I eat some meat, but I don't eat red meat or any kind of meat. And I have a friend that I brought who's vegan. And and I'm curious about it. I really admire people who I have friends who are, but I'm just as in support of a movie like this because it's about health, and I think Americans need to get more conscious about their lifestyle choices. I've done the best. I can do better for sure.
Would you ever consider the vegan lifestyle?
Absolutely. Oh, I would consider it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty close. I mean, I eat eggs for protein and I eat cheese, so that's not in the vegan diet, obviously. But absolutely, I'm like this far away, probably.
How long have you been a vegetarian?
Maybe about 5 years.
So do you think a movie like this will speak to people from your lifestyle as a vegetarian or a vegan, or even people who still eat meat?
Well, I haven't seen the film, so I don't know what their main focus is. What I understand is they talk a lot about the healing power of food. And I think that when one looks at the industry, the food industry, and crackers that can live on a shelf for 2 years, without going bad, it makes sense that the escape from raw foods and homegrown foods and beans and the things that one could anthropologically at another time forage for, which is what over thousands and thousands of years mankind survived on, that in the very past few years we've come to a really processed place. And so it makes sense that one could find healing through food, but I'm excited to go see how and change my diet even further. And I think if people read things like Slaughterhouse or No More Bull or Mad Cowboy, and they understand the process of just how, especially this country, prepares meat, there's something particularly, I won't say foul because it could be a pun, but particularly heinous about the process. And I don't think eating meat per se is wrong, but I like the idea that if you hunt it, protein is very important. But I'm hoping this is more than just about meat. I hope it's about vegetables and raw food and how food can heal us.
I'm working in Brazil to do reforestation of slash and burn cattle country. In Brazil, there are more cattle than there are people. They're the largest exporter of cattle in the world, and this is primarily to serve our fast food restaurants here. So there I'm working with cattle ranchers who are wanting to renovate their rainforest and create sustainable livelihood through planting food crops that are vegetables and fruits.
I have a show called Humor Healing Humanity where I go around the world and document the good that's going on around the world. And Brian and Dr. Campbell and everybody that's been part of Forks and Knives are definitely candidates for my show. I'm just so impressed and so proud with the information they're bringing to America, the healing work they're doing on this earth. And yeah, you can catch the segment that I'm doing on them at right now www.humorhealinghumanity.com and very soon on network TV. So
good. How are you?
Good. You look gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much.